So, how I felt when I first reached out to you, number one, I found you sort of by accident. I was kind of doing some research for somebody that I worked with about available services that people had. And there were a few things that you offered that were. I was very interested in. One of them is, of course, the specialty on the ketogenic diet. The other one, which I found very intriguing, was the women's groups and the retreats that were scheduled. And I was recognizing also that there was a really wide range of topics that were discussed. There were physical things, emotional things, social things, biology sort of things, just a really nice wide range of things that were discussed. And one of the things that I do value is sort of treating and recognizing the whole part of a person. And it just seemed like that was something that you really appreciated as well. So I was pretty excited when I first connected with you. And I originally went to you for some physical things and for some diet or I guess food planning and that kind of thing. And then it sort of developed into other connections with you. So yeah, that's kind of how I first connected with you. One of the areas of my life that has been most impacted is that one of the things that I was concerned about was my bone health. And so I feel like I am taking some really specific actions on treating that and managing that, and basically using all of the things that we do know or that you know, and passing that along to me so that I would be, the beneficiary of that kind of excellent information. So I'm really thankful because when I first heard that I had some bone loss, that seemed, I didn't know if there was anything that could be done about that. And so I was delightfully surprised when there could be something done about that. So I value that. Another thing is I've done some work with a few other people and sort of institutions, I guess. And what I recognized is that I needed to have something more, something that sort of encapsulated, the whole, I guess, my whole kind of emotional and social state of being. And so I was really excited when you were, planning to do the work that you were doing with individual sort of counseling, I guess, for a better word to call it. And then also the circle group. And so I was very interested to get connected with that. And what I'm seeing from that is that you bring a very nicely transparent energy, which I think encourages people and me to go ahead and say what it is that they're really thinking. I don't know that that's always safe in every circle or every dynamic. And so there's a lot of safety in that. And another thing that I appreciate is the levity that we sometimes can have with circumstances. And I see that especially when somebody has a little bit of levity about it, like, oh man, is that what we're looking at now? I mean, there certainly are more serious situations, but there are some where a little bit of levity in this situation is just very, very helpful and kind of sort of a little bit of a release that that all can be well and we can sort of enjoy our lives and enjoy this process. It's not it doesn't kind of have to get us. We can talk through some of those things. And yeah. So at any rate, those were a couple of things that I've seen about working with you. And I guess one of the things that I've really appreciated is some specific language or ideas or concepts or dynamics behind things that are already, might be already calling to me. And so sort of an invitation to step into those ideas and concepts, and also thinking about things in different ways, using different language in different ways. And so anyway, yeah, those are two of the main things, I guess, to kind of answer that question. So a couple of the things I know that we have worked on are my sleep issues, and as far as kind of the medical part of it go, which I think that's sort of an all-encompassing thing, is sleep as well, and also mental clarity. That is, I have medical people that I see, and talking about clarity or energy or those sort of, having an amount of energy is not always sort of a topic that is, treated holistically. Like just sleep, for example. I know that at one point when I was having trouble sleeping, there was, like something was prescribed for me. And I know when you and I have talked about that, there's some different sort of yoga practices and different sort of environmental things to incorporate. And so if I can speak to those, issues that I have with those kinds of things, I would much rather do that in that way. And so I guess that's an example of that. And I think the other is bone health, that one of the things that you and I talked about were weight-bearing exercises and different vitamin combinations and a bit of sunshine and that sort of thing. I didn't get that information from my medical provider when I was diagnosed with, some bone loss. And so I would have appreciated that, but I appreciate, having that information now, I guess, just kind of speaking specifically to that factor. I think it has been an excellent trade on my part for the time commitment and also the focus that I, want to bring, and the notes that I take and reread, and being able to participate in the group. But it's been an excellent trade. I am a big proponent in, surrounding yourself with the people that have, make additional information or more experience or more practice. I know you do an extensive amount of personal development and career development in all of these areas, as well as some very interesting, as well as some interesting things that are maybe sort of beyond mainstream. And so I appreciate that as well. So I just feel like it is a golden opportunity for me to be the recipient of all of the things that you are learning and studying. I mean, I know it's not really, I go, well, that was excellent information. And all I needed to do was sit here and listen and take some notes or write down the name of a book. I mean, I feel like I have this little window or this little side road to this extremely valuable information that I'm not going to find anywhere else. I mean, I'm going to find that information here, and, to be able to talk about it. And so I feel like it's like I said, I feel like it's an excellent trade. And I think it's worth, every minute of it. And it's kind of as if, am I going to keep on how long was I going to keep on doing, I guess, doing my life as it was? It's definitely a shift. And, a lot of new information and a lot of new thinking and that sort of thing. But but I would much rather live my life more fully, more energetic, with better bone health, because I'm probably going to live a long time. So I'm going to need my bones, and I'm going to need my energy level and all of those sort of things. And I'm going to need to, the longer I live, I'm going to need to learn how to manage even more and more relationships, because it feels like I got more and more relationships in my life each day. So for me, it was like I said, an excellent trade of time and energy and resources to have a more, full and complete, way to live.